All right, let's get rolling again. I don't like the sun. Need a little bit of cloud to roll back in, diffuse the light here. Okay, so again, we're rolling right beside the siding here at Kinghorn. We'll talk a little bit more about what sort of was the history of this station here. I don't know if you can see them, but I can definitely feel the indentations for the ties here, sort of bouncing along as we ride through the siding here. So again, this station is the namesake for this line. So part of this line became the Kinghorn Subdivision in 1924, and the whole entire line, two subdivisions were merged in 1960. The Kinghorn and the Dorian were merged, and so the whole line became the Kinghorn in 1960. Not sure of the origin of the name. Canadian Northern like to use a lot of people's names. There were some sort of locality names thrown in there as well. There is a place in Scotland called Kinghorn. I'm guessing it's named after that. William Mackenzie, the president of the company, was Scottish, so that may very well have been the impetus for the decision to call it the Kinghorn. Okay, so this is actually Kinghorn Station right here. So there's a couple of things that we're going to take a look at. So the siding is still here right beside us, and here we actually have a couple of pieces of pipe. There's nothing attached to them, but what I'm thinking is that this may have been the station board. So this may have been where the station marker was for Kinghorn. So there would have been a white sign that said CN-Kinghorn. Just across the street, just over there is the remains of the section house here at Kinghorn. And so you can see that. So let's talk a little bit about this place. I gotta grab my cheater notes here because I can't remember all the stuff that's going on, so I have to kind of look it up. So I print off the things from my website so I have the information. Okay, so the station here is located at milepost 40.7, originally 141.5. So the siding here, which is right here, the siding was in use from until 1969. And so after 1969, the station was still here, but the siding was taken out of service. The station itself disappeared in 1974, but in 1986, surprise, it's back. So it becomes a station again, but there's no siding, right? So it's just basically a just sort of a place name on the line. And Kinghorn remains a station on the line right up until the end. So right up until the line was discontinued in 2005. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually flash a few things up for you here. I'm going to flash you up a couple of maps. So the first one's an old 50s map, topographic map, and it has, you can actually see the section house that's on here. And then I'm going to do the modern topographic map, and then I'll show you some timetables as well. And so you'll basically be able to sort of see Kinghorn, and you'll basically see kind of some of the changes that were happening. Okay, so here we can basically see the remains of the section house. And so we were actually here last fall, like literally this, almost this, not the same day, but the same day of the month, right? So it was the Saturday of the long weekend, and we kind of looked around and explored. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to throw that piece of video in here. All right, we've made our way just slightly north of the grade, which is just right over there. We're kind of in this open area here that you can see. And so what we're going to be taking a look at is kind of a really neat thing, which is the remains of the foundation of the section house here at Kinghorn. I was here last summer, so the summer of 2021. And I was really intrigued by this, and it's obviously a much better perspective right now with the leaves down, and you can see the foundation a lot better. If you are interested, if you do click on the link in the description and you go to my page on Kinghorn, you'll actually be able to see a picture of this section house, actually two, but one really good one from the side. And it was taken in the 1930s, so it really gives you a good view of what this structure would have looked like and what this area would have looked like. So I thank Don for that picture. So here you can see the concrete foundation. It's one of the few structures that actually had a concrete foundation. There's a few on the line that were like this. Some of the other section houses were made out of wood. Here you can see there's a piece of concrete down here. Here you can see what looks like almost like a doorway, and you can see one on the opposite side there. Over there, and we're going to go take a look. You can see the remains of the chimney. You can see all kinds of debris that's inside here. So you can see more pieces of chimney. You can see pieces of wood, guessing the floors and the walls and everything like that. You can see metal. You can see shingles that are on here. I don't want to go in there because I don't want to step on something that I shouldn't be stepping on. But we'll ring around here so you can kind of see a little bit better from here. So again, you can see pieces of wood with nails in them. So the foundation itself is got to be at least 7 or 8 feet, if not more, with all the debris that's fallen in there. You can see the thickness of the concrete. It's probably a good 8 inches, if not more, in terms of the thickness of the wall. You can actually see how they framed it here, or they've done the pouring. So they actually have notches in here where the floor joist would sit into. It's kind of neat how they did that. And so here you can see remains of the chimney. So you can see kind of the top part here, and you can see here, and there's a clean out just down there. Here you can see kind of more of these notches for the floor joists. Here you can actually see there's still a piece of wood right where the floor joist would have been. There you can see the more of the chimney. There's a piece over there. There's some wire in there. It would be kind of interesting to kind of, dig this out a little bit and kind of see what kind of debris would be inside there. There is some stuff kind of lying around the area, so we can kind of take a look here. I did notice over here, usually around structures like this, you're going to find a rubbish pile. You're going to find a garbage dump. I don't see anything right now, but I did notice over here, it should be a well too. Should be a source of water for this section house. So there is a telegraph pole here. So you can see part of the cross beam. We'll just, oops, I stepped on another part of it here. See it here. We'll just nose around here and see if there's anything lying around. Like I said, there's got to be a well. Okay, so I knew I would find it. So there's the well. So just in relation to the section house, the section house is just right there, just a few meters to the west. And so here is our well, and you can see what has happened. You can actually see the original one. You can see it's all kind of stone lined here. And then they've inserted a culvert. It's got to be 15 feet down there or so before we see water. It's been kind of a dry fall, so but curious to kind of know what it sort of looked like originally. Looks like there's some wood there, some sawn lumber. Okay, so didn't see a garbage pile or anything like that, but I'm sure there's there is one lurking somewhere around here. Okay, so let's jump our way back up on the grade. Okay, let's get rolling. So just to the south of us here, for a period of time, there was a sawmill. I'm going to talk about that in a minute because we need to get up to where the spur was for the station, or for the sawmill. Man, I don't like these shadows here. It was so much better a little bit ago when there was a bit more cloud. Hopefully it clouds over again. So you can imagine there was a bit of a hive of activity. If you actually click on the link in the description and go to my page on Kinghorn, you'll actually be able to see some pictures of the section house. And there's one that was taken in the 1930s, and thanks for Don for sharing that, because he did have a family connection to the section house here. And you can actually see the section house and the rail line and part of a train, and it's all wide open here. This area is all wide open. See where you can see all these poplars in here? That's all open. Here you can see remains of the siding here. Okay, you can see some ties and track plates or tie plates. So right here, there's this little bump out here, and so I think, anyway, my best sort of guess, there's this kind of going this way here, and so you can kind of see this sort of elevated portion, and we'll walk in here a bit. So this, I think, was part of the spur here that went down to the sawmill, or this is part of it, or there's something here, right? Like you can see basically there's sort of this elevated section right here. So you can see this piece here, right here. Now I can't, if I had a metal detector, you could run it over there and see if there was any spikes or anything like that on here. But basically you can see something here. And that could very well, but there is here, and so I'll flash that up on the screen for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue our journey. But last year we actually went down and took a look at the sawmill. So at the end of this video, you're actually going to see the link to go down and to have a look at the sawmill. It's kind of neat. You can imagine that how it tied into this area. Maybe I'll flash up the map as well too, and you can see the cluster of buildings that that are around the area where the sawmill is. Okay, so we're gonna jump back up on the bike here and make sure you check out that sawmill video, and we're gonna resume our journey here.